Men in the porn industry. What are the dark and hidden truths of the industry? Before we dig into it, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Story 1. Although shower scenes are super cold, we're freezing our asses off in there because otherwise the camera lenses and equipment would be fricked from the steam. Story 2. Most of the stepmother scenes are filmed by actresses with no marital or familial relationship to the actor. They just lie about it. Story 3. Trimix use is freaking rampant. So many injuries cause a suspensory ligament division. If you can't come on command, you're pretty much never gonna get a job with a larger studio. I don't know about the other studios, but pretty much any shoot in Burbank is at a rented property. The whole place ends up smelling like sweat and crap if anal is being shot. Story 4. Porn chews up its talent in some pretty cruel ways, man or woman. There's this thing called the magic 8s, or at least there used to be. 8 dick can last at least 80 minutes and still come on command and can keep it up while at least 8 people just watch. Even with the magic 8, dudes will never make the same kind of money as the female co-workers in straight porn. If you are a dude, you often need to do gay porn just to earn a decent wage. Fluffers aren't really a thing when sold enough, or Viagra is cheaper. The amount of sexual misconduct on set is bonkers. It's very common for experienced talent with no ethics to take advantage of new talent before or after a scene to show them the ropes. Working in porn period fricks up your personal dating life, even if you're an accountant or marketing. Just mentioning that you work for porn company makes people very leery about dating you. You are almost entirely restricted to dating in the industry, which sucks when you are just an accountant trying to get by. Edit, since people are asking, yes, I did work in the porn industry for a very brief period. I was an equipment manager for one of the production houses. I did not date any models, but I did date in the industry. I mostly just received inventory, but I also was in charge of loaning out assets like cameras, audio recording gear, lighting, etc. We would order gear and it was my job to receive it, tag it, put it into inventory, then check it out for use. Story 5. My wife worked in porn editing raw footage for a British porn co. A lot of what she saw was on the level consensual between 2 parties, but over the 3 years she was there, she got asked to cut or make the scenes look better more and more often. A perfect example was when a male actor choked his counterpart into unconsciousness and continued to just brutalize her, face slapping, pinching and grabbing her breasts. She tidied it up best she could. Came home fricking, bawled her eyes out for 2 straight hours. She quit the next day and moved into reality TV for a while, but that too was awful hours in treatment, and it's now out of the editing industry completely. Story 6. I knew a dude worked in the Japanese porn industry. He said that often, due to the pixelation, there wouldn't be penetration, and for the money shots the guys would often hold a tiny hose on their Johnson, with fake semen being pumped from off camera. Story 7. We all have tiny penises. It's just Hollywood magic. You think the actress is sucking, but it's just forced perspective. She's actually 5 feet across the room, like those scenes from LOTR. Story 8. My ex makes good money from OnlyFans. It is sketchy as frick lots do everything by the book, keep IDs, test regularly, have contracts, pay taxes, do safe meets, etc. But there are many who don't. The site changed their rules a couple of years ago in an attempt to ensure that everyone featured was of age and consenting. It essentially meant to feature in a video. You had to have your own OnlyFans account and be verified by them because of it. He had to remove a few videos because some wouldn't agree to join. He was contacted by a reasonably well-known creator who offered to make that all go away. They blur the videos and then have another creator claim that they are in the video. My ex reported this to OnlyFans and supplied proof of it happening with messages and videos that tagged multiple creators in videos that clearly are not them, and it was ignored. What it essentially means is that there are countless people who have no idea they have been recorded and used in this way, being exploited for cash. The doxing is also very freaking weird. I was in one video with my ex consensually, and we did everything right. My tattoos were covered up, my face was obscured, we didn't use names, and he has a pseudonym. Despite that, he was identified probably by someone he filmed with. They gained access to his social media, found a picture of us together at a gym event, blew them up alongside grabs from the video and mapped our freaking moles and doxed. Him and me only knew it happened because one of the frickers couldn't resist messaging me on Instagram to tell me he knew my secret. They are fricked up. There's also a massive issue of sexual assault. My ex is a strict top while being filmed, but he's gone to a collab where everything has been pre-agreed and he's turned up, and there's 3 guys who want to film a different scene entirely. There's this idea that the studio system was exploitative in self-publishing content. Creators have taken the power back, but the simple fact is that it still can be abusive and you can still end up watching someone being abused. Story 9. If you're subscribed to a high-profile star on OnlyFans, chances are you're not chatting with them directly. There is no way anyone has the time to chat with every single subscriber. There are social media management teams that handle this. Story 10. How the frick do people come on command? Do constant suppression for a scene until the moment, and then you just stop the mental blockage. Story 11. Horses don't look like horses on film, so if a scene requires a horse, they usually just tape a bunch of cats together. Story 12. Not in the industry anymore, but did some real amateur crap for about a year when I was in college for extra money. The only dark truth I can recall was that they expressly stipulated that the advertised compensation was only for men who were willing to do some MM scenes. The MF scenes only paid about 45% of the advertised compensation. I'm bi, so it wasn't a big deal. but just know you'll have to be okay with MM action if you want to make the good money. I mean, there was also the encouragement of stacking amphetamines and sildenafil to enhance erections and keep it hard so the fluffers didn't have to bounce around in progress scenes as much. But I always figured people assumed that anyway. Well, story 13. I'm not a man in the porn industry, but I knew one. His heart is permanently damaged and he has some neuropathy as well due to circulatory issues because he had to overuse Viagra. Story 14. You are never going to get paid as much as females do, even if you're a star in the gay porn category. Female actors, even amateurs, make significantly more per scene. Additionally, those women in a cam and subscriber site have significantly more opportunity and income compared to any male backslash, if he is even allowed to sign up. Story 15. During college, I used to bounce for a lot of strip clubs that were frequented by a lot of early 2000s big-name stars in black porn. A few of them told me most of the BBCs they took a pounding from were extremely painful. They just stripped the pain and focused on the check. Story 16. My career in paid studio sessions was extremely brief and would barely constitute as such, but it's important to shatter the fantasy that being in the industry means you have great sex with hot people. In my own experience, if I wanted work or wanted to be paid for work, I had to convince myself to have sex with people I was genuinely not at all sexually attracted to or in some instances, even found repulsive. When you are the commodity, the producers, agents, etc. do what they want and use you any way they see fit. The exploitation is not something you want to. Experience and seldom have the ability to avoid. The psychological impact of doing some of the things you're called to do is a burden that can linger for a very long time and impact your life outside of the bedroom. Story 17. The refrigerator never gets fixed. Story 18. It smells bad. Story 19. There's so much free porn that I don't see how it can be an industry at all.